seeing as I basically have free reign on like content and stuff for the channel, I decided what could be cooler than to take two keyboards of the exact same price and put them up against each other in a budget raw battle.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ROBATTLE.
Good morning and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece variety or Wookie Triple XL. And we have a Hermes E2 and I'm going to look at the model name again because it's a KG962. Okay, and this keyboard promises to touch wisdom because it's Marvo. I absolutely love that slogan. It's like top 3 slogans pretty much of all time. Touch wisdom. How do you touch the impalpable? You can do it with Marvo. Absolutely insane. Hermes E3 and Gamdias. I've actually done a lot of Gamdias reviews. A lot of their product, from cooling, power supplies, cases. I've used like cheapest, just about every single variant of every product that they make. Headphones, headsets, mouse, keyboard, you name it. And it's been quite a staple for budget buying because both of these keyboards are full mechanical, full backlit for $600. That's like really cheap in the perspective of South Africa. Most of the premium tier 1 brands do make a membrane at like 1,000 Rand. So these are like 400 Rand cheaper, 40% cheaper based on that. So I picked these two up because, like I said, they're 600 Rand and they're kind of similar in a lot of ways. Of course, one's a 60% LAD and the other one's a TKL. But what I'm going to do with them is show you their switches, their keycaps, and basically do a comparison like which one is more deserving of your 600 South African rands. So let's start off with the packaging. Honestly, between the two, I gotta give it to the Marvo because they have inside proper polystyrene protection for it, and their cable is removable. So it does pack up just a little bit nicer. So you can see it's on right now, just saw my Type-C removable cable. So big points on packaging going the way of the Marvo. Now the physical LAD and the keyboard themselves, you're just getting physically more keys with the Gamdias. They are all mechanical as well, and theirs has a brown switch with not the worst audio because this is a solid aluminium backplate piece. This is just plastic with a sunken deck. Very comparable audio sound from the default keys. As far as stabilizers go though, it's a win over here for the Gamdias. Their spacebar. It does have a little bit of ping in it because it's aluminium. But the backspace or the spacebar for this guy, the stabilizers are not having a great day. But now what about the keycaps? Well, this is where things get a little bit interesting between the two. The E3 has a better text and a better shine through from the bottom. That being said, its LED is weaker than what's in the Marvo. So even though the Marvo doesn't have quite as nice of a shine through, both of them have north-facing LED, just to give you an idea, but the Marvo one is quite a lot brighter. And these keyboards have set lighting patterns. You cannot, where there's red, orange, green, blue, etc., that's the color set and it'll be the same on this side. They do not change as far as that goes. The Marvo, however, has a couple of profiles that you can edit on it where it can do some ripple effects and some lighting effects with the base lighting profile. You can't actually change the colors on any of them. There is one problem with the E2 keycap though, is that it touches its neighbor and it's this matte sort of finish, so it creates like a bit of a scrape. You can hear it. As I do that, it tends to, that's a perfect example. Tends to scrape on its neighbor, whereas these are just a little bit better separated. And actually, as I'm doing this, I'm actually preferring this. I also much prefer the texture on these keys. I think the keys themselves on the Marvo are much better quality than what's on the Gamdias, but the Marvo's problem is some of the stuff is printed on. So you see the white areas over there, it's printed onto the keycap. So those are obviously going to wear off over time a lot quicker than they will on the Gamdias. As far as customization for your setup goes, there's no kickstands available on the 60%. It does have rubberizing on top and bottom, and it's got, I think, what is probably a 7 or 8 degree incline at base. And it's quite comfortable for typing and stuff for that. The E3 has basically a 2% flat, and then if I kick these out, it's just a little bit more extreme. You can see if I put them right next to each other like that, you can see that this one's just slightly raised up. The keys are also contoured and angled a little bit better towards the typist. Overall construction and build quality wise, they are quite similar. The only thing with this is the E2 does have, like I said, an aluminium piece as its backplate. So it's got a 1mm piece of aluminium in the backplate. It doesn't add much weight to the keyboard actually. It is quite light because they've made it, well, super ultra slim like that. Some mirror finish and stuff on it, which is obviously going to scratch. Rubberizing and stuff on the bottom is acceptable. I don't think it's quite as good as the Marvo. However, the rubberizing over here is just a little bit more comprehensive on the Marvo. And the fact that this has a removable USB Type-C cable means that its longevity is just a little bit better. This is garroted straight out of the keyboard. So if that breaks, well, rip keyboard. In this instance, if you lose your cable or the cable breaks, you can replace it. Some people have pets that tend to chew through cables. Hey, it's just one cable. As far as special functions and stuff go, both of them have an arrow key mode. This one is accessible straight off of the function key. You hold in the function key and your WASD becomes an arrow key set. So it's still there. It's nice to have. Both of these actually surprised me in the fact that they both have Windows lock keys, and the E3 actually moved it completely over to the side and then still put a lock key on it. So there's absolutely no way you're going to bump that while you're using WASD. So in conclusion, with Battle of the Budgets, which one would I buy? I would actually buy the Marvo. Between the two, the keycap feel in the Marvo is just that much better. The switch feel in the Marvo is just that much better. It's got a Jigshan or G-Shun. I have no idea how to pronounce that. So it's actually got a labeled key. This just has a letter D on it, which I have no idea. This is a brown compared to a red. I will say the red does feel a little bit firmer, but overall when you're typing, it does feel a bit better. The stabilizers on this keyboard are not the greatest. If I just give you a demo. You can hear the Marvo is a lot cleaner with its stabilizers, especially on spacebar, or the Gamdias at least. That's about the only, this is the biggest detractor from this keyboard for me. Everything else on this is actually really well done. I'm quite surprised with Marvo. I can see where they've touched wisdom in making this really like decent, cheap keyboard. It's got, the only thing is, like I say, it's not completely shine through from the back. It's painted on in the spacebar. Those are the real detractors from the product. This, I just don't like the feeling of it. The way the keycaps feel, it just makes me a bit like grill kind of thing. The aluminium backplate is good. It does mean that it's going to be pretty sturdy and last quite long. I would have liked them to have had a bit more customization in their LEDs and a bit, you know, more like sort of special functions or something to that effect. There's nothing, everything you need is on keyboard. They do have like function key sets for audio and that sort of stuff. There's nothing really you're losing between the two. I'd say if audio and function key sets for media are your concern, then probably the Gamdias is a little bit of a better option for that. But if you just want a good 60% keyboard, or you're running around with a laptop or something and you're looking for just a good mechanical keyboard to do some typing and stuff on the go, this would be a good option. Just, yeah, that spacebar. It's so loud. It's so incredibly loud. Anywho, that is all I have for you in the budget ROBATTLE for today. I will be doing another one with this, with some very like from premium brand wireless mouse that are 700 Rand or less. So look forward to that because that'll be coming out next week. Until then, hope you guys stay safe, keep well, and I will see you on the flip side.
I used to sleep with open.
Adi dung da, dadi dung ha. It's Adi da.